Ladies and gents, welcome back to another SLA video. I know I missed out a video yesterday, but we were live, so if you missed it out, you can go check it out again. We did some WUA, we did some COA, and we did some SLA. That's right, a lot of acronyms your way. So Wuthering Waves, Crystal Valley, and some SLA action. I'm going to do a lot of my SLA actual gameplay videos on my live stream, so feel free to join on Twitch or on YouTube to catch that. But we do have a video I want to talk about today because we are, guys, we're literally 3 days away from Leonard and hard mode WOBL to drop, plus a brand new gem system. So I want to talk a little bit about what to do here in regards to Cha and Leonard and what you should be going for depending on what you have. And this is going to be important because it's going to actually help you decide on which unit to summon on, because Cha is ending. She's not being extended. The anniversary unit is going to be done. Plus a very important thing about Cha that they announced very, very soon. So let's get into the video and talk a little bit about that. All right, guys. So first off, Charmin. So before I start off the video, I do want to remind everybody that they being the devs, did announce that on the actual release of this patch, there's going to be a fix. There's going to be a fix for Cha, right? If you missed out on that, I'm going to show you guys real quick where that is, right here. Where is that? I'm going to show you guys real quick that the balance adjustment here, specifically for Cha Hunters, Cha Hae-In's Pure Princess, Princess, the skill Heavenly Strike will be enhanced. Now, the word enhanced is interesting because it can mean one of two things for Cha. Number one, it could mean that they're going to either allow her A3 now to keep the buff that takes it away currently, right? Which has been her major issue. So an A3 right here, you guys know Heavenly Strike obviously removes the Will of the Sword buff after 6 seconds. So by enhancing it, they may remove that. That's option one. Option two, of course, would be to double the strength or increase the strength of the extra damage, which would also make up for some of the damage she's missing out on. So nonetheless, she's getting buffed. So that leaves a big question mark for two things. Number one, what is the buff? And number two, are you going to be going for Cha or are you going to save for Leonard? Now, that's the real conversation we're going to have, and I'm going to give you guys both my answers and why you should go for either or. But of course, before I continue, guys, content creator program still going on. We got one code that's currently available for all new supporters. All existing supporters, you should already have it in the mail, not in the mail, sorry, in your page. Log in, go to the support page, go under your coupon history. It should be sitting there for you. Now, the other two codes should be on the way. We're guaranteed 2 more codes, and I'm assuming that's going to do with Leonard and the brand new WOBL that comes out. And speaking of WOBL, if you plan to do hard mode, I've already kind of discussed it with you guys. New Shadow is not coming out in June, most likely. All right, so that's one power loss we have gone. All right, the gem system they did announce will happen. So gems, we're going to get tier 6 gems most likely. The Battlefield of Chaos is going to increase as well. This is my free-to-play, by the way, so not as much power as usual. But the gem system should have a couple more strings to it. Now, what this means essentially is we should be getting more slots for gems, which should increase your total power. So what do you need to do here to get the maximum amount of power? Well, the main thing you need to do is have percentage gems available. So that's defense percentage, attack percentage, HP percentage, okay? And then for here, you want precision. Here, you want to have whatever gives you the most power or MP reduction. That's going to be your main ones. So make sure you have that available to get yourself up there. Now, the main thing to remember is we're predicting, and again, this is a prediction, but it might be true. The prediction is the fact that hard mode Yogamont might be about 1.9 million to 1.95. Okay, and that's including the 2 flames. So each flame gives the enemy 50,000 CP. So keep that in mind. So whatever you see like 1.8 on there, pretend it's 1.9. It's gonna have to happen, right? So Cha or Leonard? That's the question. So I'm going to be honest with you. After seeing Leonard's kit, I will say this. He does play somewhat of a hybrid role for the win team. All right. He does play somewhat of a hybrid role, but I still think because of his A5 that he is going to be a pure DPS at the end of the day. Like he's meant to be a DPS. I think he's the equivalent to what Cha is for the water team. The only difference between the two of them really is the fact that Leonard really relies on MP recovery. And on MP as well too, right? So he scales off of 2 different things. He scales just like Mireille does, where she gets a bonus from MP and attack. He gets bonus from defense and MP. So you're going to have to be very careful on how you juggle this character. He does increase maximum MP, but I don't think he's going to be doing very much for MP recovery on his own. This is why I still think Hansimi is going to be a major part of this team because of her MP recovery abilities, right? So the way to look at it is this. If Cha gets her Heavenly Strike Will of the Sword debuff removal thing happening, if they remove that, what I call a debuff, if they remove that, she is by far a superior character. At A3 plus, she's going to get, at A5 especially, she's going to have 15 seconds of 60% defense, 24% crit hit rate, and 24% crit hit damage. So if you're looking between Leonard and her, and they adjust her, she, I think, will be by far more superior because she only relies on herself for the most part. She's only relying on her Heavenly Strike, then into her cores to fill up her bar, and then she gets the full buffs there to do maximum amounts of damage with her skills. So from a self-appointed standpoint, she can probably do more damage than Lennart will. But on the other hand, Lennart will do a lot of damage himself, but he also buffs the team, right? But the biggest problem is going to, again, be the MP management portion of the fight. He has unrecoverable. He has defense increase, he has damage increase, he has max MP increase, which is actually also going to be great for Goto. But the only thing with him is you're going to need to have a specific team around him. I know a lot of people are saying that he might be okay with Mirai, and quite honestly, we won't know until we see the percentages, right? That's how you distinguish a DPS from a hybrid. If the percentages are high, then he's most likely going to be a DPS. If the percentages are low, then he's probably designed to be both. So if he's designed to be both, then you can probably use Goto, him, and Mirai. But if the percentages are high, the intent will probably be to remove Mirai. So a couple things come into question here. Number one, how is your water team, right? Do you have a full A5 mail-in? If yes, then do you have an A5 Sauron? If no, then you have two options, right? Sauron comes out same time as Leonard. Do you want to summon for Sauron with black tickets and get lucky? Chances of getting Sauron with black tickets is way lower than getting Leonard with white tickets, right? But then white tickets are also more expensive and harder to come by. So it's going to come down to this. If you have Sauron mail in and you have an A4 Cha, you should, in my opinion, should be summoning for A5 Cha. Finish Cha. Get her to A5. Stop there. For Leonard, if you have a very, very strong Hansi Mi, like an A5 Hansi Mi, for example, and your Goto is A3 to A5, it has to be A5 really if you're going to do hard mode. So if you have an A5 Goto, A5 Hansi Mi, then you want to go for Leonard. Now, the question again becomes, what if I have an A5 to an A7 Mirai, right? Like I have, for example, an A7 Mirai right here. I'm going to say this about Mirai. She's still a fantastic unit. Still one of the best DPSs in the game by far. By far. But I don't think she's designed to do well in this specific format. I don't think she's well designed for this specific WOBL. Like she conquered Vulcan, she conquered Baron. She pretty much was the best unit, I think, for both probably in terms of DPS. She's gonna have her limits. They cannot, and this is what I'm trying to say, is like they're not gonna sell Leonard unless he brings something that she doesn't, and that is utility to this fight, necessity for this fight, and at the same time power creep to this fight. Because quite honestly, if you think about it, if Mirai gets by with this WOBL as well, that's 3 WOBLs out of 4 that she's absolutely been dominant in, which I don't think from a company standpoint, guys, they're going to do. So Leonard versus Cha. I still say Cha's a better character overall if you have a good water team, because the water team is better than the wind team. But if you don't have an A5 Cha yet, and you're, let's say, like A0 or A1 or A2, and depending on how they buffer, you may want to skip for Leonard. Leonard will be very strong. He looks very strong. The only difference is we don't have his percentages. So in this specific case, you can't go right or wrong with either character, but what you can do is mess up by summoning for a character that doesn't have the proper team surrounding them. So in my opinion, Goto A5, Hansimi A5, you can go for Leonard. If you have Sauron A5, if you have Cha or Maelin A5, then you can summon for Cha. They're both, from seeing their kits, they're both equally advantageous to this WOBL. I think they built it this way specifically so this time people don't complain between what happened with Light and Fire. So it's completely your call, guys. So let me know in the comment sections what you plan to do, if you're going to finish Cha or if you're going to hold off and summon for Leonard. And if you do summon for Leonard, let me know what you're going to play him as, a DPS or a support or hybrid, if you've already seen his kit. Guys, remember though, with kits and leaks, anything can change. Anything can change. So take this as a word of caution. Number 2, no Korean live stream this week. They're going to be pushing it till the end of June, and I'm imagining till the idol characters come out. And then, of course, we have ourselves the release of the collab and Jinnah in July. So I think they're going to hold off until then, but we do have a sharp live stream. We'll do a live stream for testing. We'll do a live stream for WOBL and all other SLA content. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.